My dear students, today we are going to discuss chemical reactions and equations belonging to 10th class syllabus. This is the third lecture, part number 3. In this class, we are going to discuss exothermic, endothermic reactions, oxidation reduction reactions, and partly balancing the chemical equations. First, let us take types of chemical reactions based on energy changes. Energy means here heat, in the form of heat. Basing on these heat changes or energy changes in a reaction, there are two types. There are two types. What are those? One is exothermic reaction. One is exothermic reaction, and two endothermic reaction, right? Now let us consider the simple definitions of these two with a few number of examples. Okay. First, exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. Whatever excess amount of heat is present in reactants, after their conversion into the products in the reaction, that excess heat will be liberated. That is called exothermic. So, what does it mean? A reaction in which heat is released is called exothermic reaction, right? That is called exothermic reaction. So, underline this. A reaction in which heat is released is called exothermic reaction. That means heat content associated with reactants is greater than heat content of products. Total heat content associated with reactants can be represented as H1. Heat content is represented by H. Heat content of products is H2. What is the difference? Difference means you have to take final minus initial. Difference means final minus initial. In this way you have to take the difference. This is the thermodynamical concept. So what is it here? Final is products, initial is reactants. How much amount is there initially? H. H1 is here greater than H2, don't forget. So here if you want to find the difference means that is H2 minus H1. H2 minus H1. Here this is equal to delta H. This is difference is called delta H. Delta H here is negative. Delta H is negative. So in exothermic reactions, in exothermic reactions, delta H is always negative. Delta H is always negative. This is the thermodynamical concept that you have to learn. Don't forget H1, H2. H1 is greater than H2, and that is H2 minus H1 less. H2 is less, H1 is greater, that is a negative quantity will be obtained. Delta H is negative. Exothermic reaction, delta H is always negative. And so here, if you want to write the reaction, in what way? First, let us consider the examples here. Reactants converted into products. Whatever excess amount of heat is associated with reactants, after their conversion to products, that excess amount of heat should be liberated. And so here, some amount of heat will be liberated. This is what you call exothermic reaction. And this heat is represented as delta H thermodynamically. Suppose the value X is obtained here, then what is the value of delta H? Delta H is equal to minus X. Don't forget, whatever amount is obtained here, that becomes minus in the case of delta H value. If you write delta H separately, that is minus. In the equation, along with the products you are writing. Okay, let us now consider examples in this case. One, burning of magnesium. Burning of metal, burning of non-metal, or burning of any hydrocarbon, always they liberate heat. All those reactions are exothermic reactions. Burning of magnesium means combustion. When magnesium is burned in air, magnesium solid, in air oxygen is present, which is gas. Heated, magnesium burns with white dazzling light, giving you magnesium oxide. Giving you magnesium oxide, it is solid. Balancing two oxygens here, you have to write 2 here, you have to change only the coefficient but not the formula. 2 mg here, 2 mg. And here, plus Q, heat energy. This is heat energy. What is the unit here? If you take the unit for heat energy, it may be expressed in kilocalories or kilojoules or calories and joules. There is one conversion. 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules, or 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4.184 kilojoules. This is the conversion factor. You can write the heat energy value either in calories or in kilojoules or joules. Okay? So here, if you write delta H for this, as it is exothermic, minus Q, kilocalories or kilojoules. Whatever unit is obtained there, you can write here. So this is burning of magnesium. Similarly, you can take combustion of carbon, burning of coal. You can take here carbon, coal, solid, burned in air, oxygen gas. It will be converted into CO2 gas. And here, if you want to write, actually it will be plus 92 kilocalories. Q is equal to here 92 kilocalories. And therefore here, what is the delta H value? Delta H is equal to minus 92 kilocalories in this equation. Or you can write here Q2, Q1 kilocalories. Similarly, you can take burning of, let us write combustion of hydrocarbon. Any hydrocarbon you can take here, upon combustion gives a carbon dioxide and water. Combustion of hydrocarbon. Example, I am taking methane. It is a gas burnt in air. Any hydrocarbon upon combustion gives only two products. Carbon is converted into CO2, H is converted into H2O. So here you will get CO2 gas plus H2O vapor. Sometimes you may get liquid also. And here we have to balance it. C. 4 hydrogens are here, you have to write 2H2O. 2O, 2O, 4O, 2O2. This is balanced. Plus Q calories, or let us say Q1 kilocalories is obtained. Therefore, here delta H is equal to minus Q1 kilocalories. In this way, you can take burning of magnesium, burning of coal, burning of any hydrocarbon. You can take methane, ethane, propane, or ethylene, benzene, any hydrocarbon. Upon combustion, always gives carbon dioxide plus water, and there large amount of heat is released. All these are nothing but the exothermic reactions, right? All these are exothermic reactions. If you want, you can write some more examples also, like H2 plus half O2 will give you H2O, plus certain amount of heat will be released. This is also exothermic reaction. Or you can write 2H2 plus O2 will give you 2H2O plus heat will be released. All these are nothing but the exothermic reactions, right? Please note it. Please note it. Delta H is always negative in these cases. This is also exothermic reaction, formation of water. This is methane, carbon dioxide. Any hydrocarbon gives this one. Okay? Please note it. Now let us consider the second part of these energy changes, that is endothermic reaction. Exo is replaced by endo. Endothermic reaction. And here the heat content associated with the reactants is less than the products. Whatever amount is less than the product's heat, that extra amount of heat is supplied to reactant in order to convert it into product. And that is why in this endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed. A reaction in which heat is not released, heat is absorbed. Simple replacement is called endothermic reaction. Here you have to write endo. That is endothermic reaction. And here, if you observe carefully, heat content of reactants is less than heat content of products. Let H1 be the heat content of the reactants, H2 be the heat content of the products, and thereby H1 associated is always less than H2. And that is why, as H2 is greater than H1, delta H here becomes what? Positive. So, in endothermic reactions, delta H is always positive. How can we present here? You have to take reactants, you have to supply some heat, thereby it is converted into X, products. Let us suppose that is the value X. Then reactants will give you products plus heat in the form of value X. Here it is a plus is brought to the right side, it becomes minus. So in the case of endothermic reaction, on the product side if you write the heat content, that is represented by negative sign. When it is negative sign, then delta H is positive. In this case, delta H is positive. You can take, for example, carbon, solid, sulfur, you can take, this is sulfur, solid, or even sometimes you can take liquid also. This is carbon, solid. When these are heated, it will be converted into carbon disulfide liquid. This is what you call carbon disulfide. And in this case, minus 22 kilocalories. Or minus Q you can write. So for this reaction, what is the value of delta? Delta H is a thermodynamical term, don't forget. Always you have to use delta H. Or in other cases, we can use delta E also, depending on the situation there. So here delta H is equal to plus 22 kilocalories. Right? Similarly, you can take example 2. N2 gas plus O2 gas will give you 2NO. N2 plus O2 will give you 2NO. And here minus Q kilocalories is absorbed. Minus heat, that means there is heat absorbed. And therefore, in this case, delta H is equal to plus Q kilocalories. Plus Q kilocalories. One more simple example even you can take, like H2 gas plus I2 gas will be converted into 2HI gas. Here also slight amount of heat is absorbed, 1.6 almost. So this is minus Q1 kilocalories. And therefore delta H is equal to plus Q1 kilocalories. All these are examples for endothermic reactions. Don't forget, all these are endothermic reactions. Here delta H is equal to plus Q. Here delta H is equal to plus Q. Here delta is equal to plus 20. The actual value is given to you. Or otherwise you can write here Q3. All these are examples for endothermic reactions. In endothermic reactions, heat content of the reactants is less than heat content products, and that is why heat is absorbed. When heat is absorbed, delta H is equal to positive. For endothermic, delta H is positive. For exothermic, delta H is negative. These are some examples for these endothermic reactions. Okay, please note it. Now let us consider the next one, oxidation and reduction. There are many differentiations, basing on oxygen, basing on hydrogen, basing on non-metal, basing on metal, basing on oxidation number, basing on electrons. There are 6 types of definitions for oxidation reduction. Hydrogen, oxygen, metal, non-metal, these are the age-old definitions. Basing on oxidation number, basing on electron transfer, that is the modern concept. And of course, that modern concept will be dealt in the +2 level. And at present, we have to discuss the oxidation reduction with respect to oxygen and with respect to hydrogen. Don't forget, addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Removal of oxygen is called reduction. Similarly, addition of hydrogen is reduction. Removal of hydrogen is oxidation. So, definition of hydrogen is quite opposite to definition of oxygen oxidation. So, here in this case, with respect to oxygen, I am considering a reaction which involves the addition of oxygen is called oxidation. And a reaction which involves the removal of hydrogen, here removal of hydrogen, here addition of oxygen, that is called oxidation. And now let us consider certain examples. Addition of oxygen, many examples are there, certain examples. Already we discussed it previously, exothermic endothermic reactions, and here we are not representing any heat content, just reactions. First we are taking here, carbon is burnt in air, carbon converted into carbon dioxide gas. Here in this case, carbon is taking oxygen, and converted into carbon dioxide. What you have to say here? Carbon is oxidized to CO2. This is the meaning. Carbon is oxidized to CO2 because it is taking oxygen. So this is the meaning. C is oxidized to CO2. Similarly, sulfur is burnt in air. It burns with blue flame and finally converted into sulfur dioxide gas with suffocating odor. And so sulfur is taking oxygen and converted into SO2. Here in this case, sulfur is oxidized to SO2, right? Similarly, one more example I am taking, carbon monoxide. This is what you call carbon monoxide, very poisonous gas, deadly poisonous, highly reactive. It is not stable in air. It immediately takes oxygen and will be oxidized to CO2. So CO is taking oxygen, absorbing oxygen and is converted into CO2. So here carbon monoxide is oxidized to CO2. Okay? Very simple examples. Aluminum plus oxygen, aluminum oxide. Similar sodium oxygen, sodium oxide. Potassium oxygen, potassium oxide. Barium oxygen, barium oxide. See, many metals when burnt in air, they will be converted into corresponding oxides. Addition of oxygen is always there. H2 plus O2, H2O, and there H2 is oxidized to H2O. And in this case, once again, you can take with respect to hydrogen, a reaction which involves the removal of hydrogen is called oxidation. You have to remove hydrogen from that compound. Hydrogen present in the form of compound with another element, metal or non-metal. If that is removed, it is oxidized. And so here, I am taking hydrogen sulfide gas. This is hydrogen sulfide gas treated with chlorine. What happens here? This hydrogen is given to Cl2. Sulfur is losing hydrogen. Sulfur is losing hydrogen. H2S is losing hydrogen. Loss of hydrogen is oxidation, and therefore H2S is oxidized to what? S. It is oxidized to sulfur. H2S is oxidized to sulfur. English also you can take. You can take Cl2. Cl2 is absorbing, taking hydrogen and converting into HCl. And so Cl2 is taking hydrogen. So addition of hydrogen to chlorine is there. So Cl2 is reduced to HCl. In that also you can take. Where there is oxidation, there is also reduction. Put together it is called redox reaction. Similarly, you can take hydrogen iodide treated with oxygen here. What happens? Hydrogen iodide is losing hydrogen, giving hydrogen to oxygen. And so it is converted into water. What about I? It is converted into I2. That means HI is losing hydrogen. Then what you have to say? Therefore, Hi is oxidized to I2. At the same time, O2 is taking oxygen, therefore O2 is reduced to H2O. Redox reaction is there. Similarly, we can take MnO2 plus 4HCl. Hydrogen fluoride, it is losing hydrogen. It is losing hydrogen. And so HCl is losing hydrogen, is converted to Cl2. MnO2 is taking hydrogen, it is converted to MnCl2. Accepting hydrogen, reduction, losing hydrogen, oxidation. And so here what you have to say, HCl is losing hydrogen, converted into Cl2. And therefore, HCl is oxidized to Cl2. This is also preparation of chlorine. Action of constant HCl on MnO2 gives chlorine. And here MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2, HCl is oxidized to Cl2 because HCl is losing hydrogen, and this is particular example for redox reaction. You can write it as also redox reaction. Where there is oxidation reaction, side by it there will be reduction reaction. Put together redox reactions are very important in the chemistry and in particular electrochemistry also. Okay, so this is about with respect to oxygen, with respect to hydrogen, we are saying here oxidation. Here also with respect to hydrogen, oxidation. Then we have to define reduction. Please note it. Next, reduction with respect to oxygen. When oxygen is removed, it is reduction. When hydrogen is added, that is reduction. So here with respect to oxygen, a reaction which involves the removal of oxygen, that is called reduction. In the case of hydrogen, a reaction which involves the addition of hydrogen is called reduction. Addition of hydrogen is reduction, removal of oxygen is reduction, quite opposite to each other. And now let us take the example, so many examples are there. I am taking here cupric oxide. Cupric oxide is treated with a reducing agent like carbon graphite, carbon powder coal, coal or coke. This oxygen is taken away by carbon, and so CuO is converted into Cu, it is losing oxygen. So copper oxide is losing oxygen. Therefore what you have to say? CuO is reduced to Cu. CuO is reduced to Cu. This is the case. CuO is reduced to Cu. Right? So when copper oxide is treated with reducing agent, this is carbon is called reducing agent. Further we will discuss later. CuO plus C, Cu plus Cu, CuO is losing oxygen. So removal of oxygen is nothing but reduction. CuO is reduced. CuO here is reduced to Cu. Similarly here H2O is treated with the coal. Once again oxygen is taken away by carbon, converted into CO. And here you have to take steam. When steam is passed over red hot coke, this is nothing but red hot coke. Red hot coke. When steam is passed over red hot coke, what happens? H2 plus CO is obtained. H2 plus CO is obtained. So here, this is what you call water gas. Water gas is a mixture of CO and H2. This is what you call water gas. It is a fuel. And so here H2O is losing oxygen. So H2O is reduced to hydrogen. H2O is losing oxygen means H2O here, H2O, I am writing in this manner. H2O is reduced to H2 because it is losing oxygen and it is converted into violently water gas. Water gas is a mixture of H2 and CO which can be used as fuel. That is the preparation of water gas. Similarly, you can take a ferric oxide. ferric oxide, mixed oxide, this is what you call mixed oxide, Fe2, Fe3 oxides, Fu2O3, FeO. It is a combination of Fe2O3 plus FeO, and that is why it is called mixed oxide, available. This is mixed oxide, Fe3O4, solid. On this, hydrogen gas is passed. This is hydrogen gas. Thereby, this is reduced to Fe, iron. And water, H2 is converted into H2O. And so here what is happening? Fe3O4 in this process losing oxygen. Losing oxygen. Hence, what you have to say here? Fe3O4 is reduced to Fe because it is losing oxygen. In this way, you can quote number of examples. Similarly, in the case of hydrogen, if you take H2 plus Cl to 2HCl, age-old equation, this is chlorine is taking oxygen and so it is reduced to HCl. That means what you have to say, chlorine is reduced to HCl. Why? Why is it so? Because chlorine is accepting HCl, H2. Chlorine is taking H2, converting to HCl, so chlorine is reduced to HCl. Similarly, when sulfur is heated with hydrogen, it is reduced to H2S. So here S is reduced to hydrogen sulfide because it is accepting hydrogen, taking hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen is taking place here. Similarly, it is organic compound.